Hey guys, 65 Ford here. This video is going to be about making a specialty tool. I've had this on my mind for a while. Been meaning to make it. I was going to make it. Thought maybe you guys would like to watch. Let me show you. So I've already started, but what I have here is just a standard pair of pliers. You know, the slip joint pliers that you use, and I've already started cutting them because I'm going to modify these. Instead of making my own handles and everything, I'm going to save a little bit of time and just modify them from something that actually exists and already works. And these are a longer pier, and I think that'll work a little bit better. So I'm going to cut off this one as well, because I need to make them. This tool, what I need it to do, instead of squeezing to close these jaws, when you squeeze it, I need them to open, almost like a set of snap ring pliers. You know, I need them to actually force themselves open when you're pinching. Cut them both off, put them back together. So essentially, I have a useless pair of pliers now. So I've converted to standard slip joint pliers. You know, these things, which I think are about the most useless thing in a toolbox. I hate these things. They never seem to grip anything. You can't. I don't know how I got so many pairs of them too. You know, it seems like everywhere I've gotten an extra pair of these, I gotta have at least a dozen pairs of these, and I never ever use them because I hate them. But we're here. Now, the next thing to do is weld on new pieces. Now I have that all cut off. Now, this is how it looked like. This is what it looked like before. So what I'm going to do is I need these to pass through each other. So they're actually going to be, instead of here, they're going to be welded way back here, so that then when this is all the way open, essentially the backs of these are touching. And actually rotating this spreads them further apart. So now I got it tacked on. You know, I've moved that over and that's tacked on. And then to fill that little gap, I've just put in a little piece of 3/16 flat stock, and I've just welded it with the big piece, and then I'll just cut it off. That way I can get a nice hot weld on that whole thing, without worrying about it warping, twisting, or just burning away all the material. And then I'll just do the same thing to this one, and these are identical, you know. So I'll just burn this out. I'll cut that off, and I'll burn this other corner onto here, and then it'll be able to fill in that, bridge that gap. I know it looks silly, but there it is. It's all welded up and ground down. It's almost finished. But now, see, when you push on the pliers, they pry apart, instead of, you know, going together. So I mean, they got some good pry force to them. I can't. These are bent. The handles are bending before that bend, so got nice and strong. Now, the next step, we need to make grooves in here. Weld on little pegs. I'll just take my angle grinder. I'll just grind a nice little groove down the middle. Well, there we go. It's all done. That's it. Has little grooves up here, so the wire will come around and wrap around one and wrap around the second one, just to give it a good amount of friction so it doesn't unravel. Different wires are going to be different ways. Here we got just some cheap. This is actually like baling wire, but it's for tying cement forms and stuff, rebar together. So what we're going to do is just get a length that wraps around. You can just do it once. You can do it. We'll do a double wrap. Let's get a double wrap. Let's cut off enough wire. So we got a double wrap. Now that's pretty loose in there, but we're gonna cross them. So this one's gonna come over here, and what it'll do is you wrap it around your terminals, and then just line it up. Maybe I didn't leave enough. I will still do it. I didn't leave enough to wrap around there, so it's going to slip. See, it's slipping off right there. We'll just do a one wrap. I didn't leave enough for a double wrap. Just do a single wrap. There we go. And all you do is pull, and it'll, that's in there. And then you just twist it to lock it. And that's it. And then just unwrap it, or just snip your pieces real fast. You know, snip it down to what you want it. Use the dikes to push it in. That's sealed. That's on there good. So, and then if you ever want to take it off, you can actually just bend up one of these tabs to the point that it wants to loosen. So, and it's loose. And this isn't the strongest wire. There's even stronger wire. I'm actually afraid, you can actually see it breaking. I'm actually afraid I'm going to break it. I'm pulling it too tight. But there we go. Pull a little bit. Get so it's all lined up where you want it to be. And you can just cinch. And you can see how small it made that hole in there. You know, and then just twist to lock. There we go. It makes, you know, turns a wire into a clamp of any sort, you know. So I actually have this wooden pot right here that I actually tried binding it together just with wire and tried pulling it and twisting it, but it just didn't, I just could not get it tight enough. So we're actually going to take off my wire that I did earlier, well, a couple weeks ago. Take that off. Be done with that. I actually even tried putting little like side crimps in it, trying to just cinch it up, and just it would not cinch up. And now we're going to take some new wire. It's a little bit longer so we can get our tool on. I was playing around with old pallet pieces, just old pallet slats, and I decided to make this real fast. Playing around. Put it, now I'll put it in the groove. Just wrap it. Traction. Close it up. I may, let's see, let's cinch it one. There, it's all cinched up. Now we can pull it. I'm going to line all my pieces. Get them everywhere. I'll way I want them. Oh wow, that's. Did that break the wire? I pulled so hard I broke the wire. That's impressive though. I still have enough wire I can do it. Oh, that's snug. Make sure all my pieces are where I want them. And just twist it to lock it. That's it. Gotta remember, don't pull that tight, especially on this cheap wire. You know, if I get, I'll buy some. Now that I've made this tool, I'll buy some nicer, heavier duty stainless steel wire or something. We'll just cut off the ends, and you can just tuck those under the original or something. Just leave them there. But that is snug. I'll redo the bottom, but essentially, you know, with just standard baling wire and this tool, I can bale, I can bind anything, you know, bundles of wood, hose clamps if I need to, any size hose clamps, you know, and I don't need to pull as tight as this thing will pull. Okay, since I'm using weaker wire, I came up with a way to strengthen it. I'm going to double up the wire. I'm going to use 2 strands at a time, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to wrap it around, let's say, my top post, bring them down through my groove, And then I'm going to wrap it around my piece, whatever I'm binding, both strands. Bring those up. Again, we're going to wrap both of those around like we normally would, since I'm using cheap wire. And then we can really, I mean, as tight as I can. It's smashing the 2x4 right now. Might be better if I have that sitting on the ground or something, has nails in it, but there we go. I'll just have to, you'll actually have to cut it off the way I just barely did it. There we go. I actually dug in to the 2x4, but that's, you know, I'm using 2 pieces of wire bound together, and that's as tight. I mean, I can pull that as tight as I want. So I was actually curious how much this would actually pull, how much force I was actually putting on those wires. So I actually hooked up this little luggage scale that pulls up to about 70 pounds, and my wire kept breaking a little over 70 pounds, you know, when this would actually start going back around on itself. And so, and I was putting about maybe half the force, maybe a little more than half of the force on these pliers with my hands. So I'm assuming that I could easily pull about 150 pounds of force with leverage on the wire. And so that's a little tool I made, wire binding, crimping tool. Hopefully you guys, you know, hopefully somebody out there makes it and uses it. I know this is gonna, I've been wanting to make this for quite a while, you know, at least almost a year or so. And I've had this on my mind, so I'm glad I did, and I used it for a project just barely. It really helped me out. I know this is going to be used in my toolbox, you know, fairly often. So make one, enjoy it. Thanks for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe. Why not? Yeah, leave me a comment below. What do you think about this? What do you guys think? Thanks, guys. See you soon. Bye.